Welcome in, everyone, to yet another weekend kickoff edition of the Three-Man Weave College Basketball Show presented by SportsbookReview.com. I am Matthew, hosting today's fine show. Ky is joining me. Jim is joining me. All the folks are here. Chat Mafia, welcome aboard. A lot of games to get to tonight. The Friday slates have grown in size this year, albeit a lot of cancellations have shrunk them, but still a hearty slate to walk through. We're going to lead off with some action. Ky, I know you're a big fan of that league, as we all are. And we'll head out west, do some Big West talk, and hit some big boys. We'll run the gamut here. But I'll start with Mr. McKeon. I want to learn what you learned last night.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about Iowa-Wisconsin. Some takeaways from this game. Not the greatest to watch, but still some good gleanings we got. First of all, Luka Garza, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 4 for 6 from 3. I don't know what else you guys want from him. He is the player of the year. Full period, stop, whatever. Wisconsin, guys, in my opinion, still a good team. Still a top 15 for me. A lot is recency bias, all this bashing on Wisconsin lately. They just lost to Michigan and Iowa, 2 top 5 teams in the country.
Yep.
Their offense has been poor. It's true. Bad shooting has sort of taken them out of games. They kind of give up after not hitting enough shots. Last 4 games in particular, less than 1 point per possession in each of those. That's going to come back, in my opinion. They got good shots last night. Who doesn't against Iowa's defense? So I'm fully confident the Badgers will find their way in March. Also, defensively, Wisconsin didn't play bad defensively. Iowa's offense, Jim, is just a cannonball.
Just
number one in the country for a reason.
63% from deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's defense still ranks 8th in the country overall. Jim, what did you think yesterday?
That was a big takeaway for me. Impressed by Iowa's shooting. And the other thing I wrote down is the rich got richer. Gonzaga just absolutely destroyed St. Mary's. Michigan took care of business, although they did not cover. And Ohio State covered at Penn State. So the 1 seeds remained 1 seeds. No crazy upsets or anything on a Thursday. But, we move on. We look forward to Friday, Matthew.
That we do, Jim. Just to mention, Wisconsin, 4 of 22. 4 of 22 from inside the arc against Iowa's defense in the first half. I was pulling my hair out watching that one. Anyway, we won't whine about that. My takeaway real quickly here on the complete other end of the spectrum, Idaho is bad. They shot 52% from 2, 39% from 3, 85% from the line, and lost by 20 to Porta Potty State. So this team's bad, and I had to contextualize this. Their best player, arguably, is a former walk-on, Damon Thacker, who they got back last night from injury. It mattered not. You have to add them to the no-bet list if they have not already been there. Maybe they already have been. But you know me, I like to bet.
List since day one, Matt.
Yeah, I like to bet bad dogs. So I didn't bet them last night, but I will certainly not be touching them going forward. Before we get to the outline, we have, of course, shout out the folks who make this all possible. SPRodds.com. Before we go through this, pull it open on your second monitor, your browser, your tablet, what have you. Line value is king. We'll be referencing those lines throughout the show. SPRpicks.com/NCAAB, right above my beautiful mug, as well as Ky and Jim's. Navigate there. Lots of great content, expert analysis, picks, you name it. It is all there. And now it commences. Maction, oh yes. Toledo at Buffalo. And there's no one else in the world I can toss this to than Jimbo, the creator, the founder of TFA, Toledo Faders Anonymous. And, Jim, I've relapsed myself a few times throughout this season. Tonight, though, I'm asking if I can sign up to be an instructor to help those not just not fade Toledo, but actually back Toledo at a spot where I think the price is sort of favorable for the Rockets, who have seemed to have hit a little bit of a plateau, a little bit of a wall the last week or two. What do you think about this one here tonight?
There's a matchup edge for Buffalo, I think, in terms of athleticism. They are definitely a tier above Toledo in that regard, and definitely bigger inside too. So they could potentially have a big day on the offensive glass in particular. But I'm a little worried about the shooting luck. No one's making threes against Buffalo this year, and that's a little scary. Toledo's one of the best shooting teams in the country. If that regression shows up here, then Buffalo could be in trouble. But yeah, Matt, the price, I agree, is kind of a Rocket favoring price. So I got nothing just because of the conflict between matchup and number. Ky, anything for you here?
Yeah, that's my conflict as well, Jim. Matchup versus number. Number leans Toledo, but I love the Buffalo Bulls from a matchup perspective. and they're hot, man. 3-0 against the spread last 3 games. Average margin of victories over 20 points. They're actually number 9 in Bart Torvik's recency rankings for the month of February. Just rolling over teams. Yeah. Their schedule, sure, it's been a little bit lighter in terms of MAC perspective, but still an impressive run for the Bulls, a team we thought could win the MAC in the preseason. Best offense versus best defense here in the MAC. Certainly a fun game to watch, I think. And I agree, Jim, the athleticism might just be too much for Toledo. However, my number is not quite there with the Bulls at -2, 2.5, Matt.
Yeah, I was hoping there might be some more cute early bettors that would bet Buffalo up to 3, and I may get to hop in on the rocket ships, but so far that has not shown. I think you guys both hit the nail on the head with the matchup stuff. I watched the Kent State game earlier in the year when Toledo was bashed inside. I think that's their matchup kryptonite, and Buffalo can sort of replicate components of that with their size and length.
Yeah, do either of you guys have a take on the total? Augie asked about the under 163, a high number. I mean, they're going to play a track meet here, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think both teams can score on each other. I mean, matchup-wise, I lean over. That's a huge number, though, so I won't take it.
Yeah, I kind of lean towards overs in like almost every MAC game. It seems like they're always flying over. Maybe that's just anecdotal.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Speaking of action, we'll stay right there in the heart of the Midwest. Ball State hosting Akron, the Zippity Doodahs. You guys have tried to brand me as a Zippity Doodah stan. I'm not sure I'm all the way there, but
you are.
The odds makers for sure are. They opened this one at 3.5, and some early money bet it up even higher, Ky, to 5. However, the Weave disagrees, don't we? Tell them why we like the Cardinals tonight, despite a pretty putrid effort last game against Toledo.
Well, I mean, this is the same thing as last.
Bowling Green. Excuse me, Bowling Green.
Yeah, this is the same thing as last game we just talked about. From a matchup perspective, I think Akron is the side here. Ball State's coming in losers of 5 of 6, despite Jaron Coleman returning into the lineup. Akron won the first game by 32. Ball State put up 0.61 points per possession. They were terrible. Couldn't score inside at all. It's hard to score on the Zips in general. I think Ball State probably struggles to score again. But 5 points, that's high. That's a lot at home. You're going to get a motivated Ball State team, Jim, considering where they're at in the standings right now. So with the number, yeah, I'm leaning towards Ball State.
Yeah, motivated and healthiher. They got KJ Walton back on the court last game. He should matter. He is a great slasher, a terrific perimeter defender. Hopefully they've got him assigned to Lauren Christian Jackson doing the best he can against that diminutive dynamo for the Zips. The perfect encapsulation of like a player and the mascot, right? He's a little Zip himself.
Yes, exactly.
Both these teams also have kind of great shooting luck so far this year, right around 30% for the season. I could see some threes going in this one just because of that. So yeah, Ky, I tend to agree with you. I like the Ball State number here, but not enough to lock it in the show. I don't have a strong sense for them for my ratings on these two teams, Matt.
Yeah, only concern here is with KJ Walton's health. He did play last game, but it read like he was rusty, and reading between the lines, it seems like they may have forced him back to get him on the court to shut down Justin Turner. So I think you're going to have him slotted again today on LCJ. He's a freak athlete, one of the best on-ball defenders in the conference, but doesn't sound like he's at 100%, and he was not himself on offense, and it was a pretty big detriment to the scoring attack of the Cardinals. I think he had like 5 turnovers. So hopefully Walton's a better game today for the boys and all Ball State backers. Continuing right along here, we're going all the way out west to Taco Bell Arena, baby. Boise State hosting Utah State. Leg 2 of the rematch. We saw Boise take care of business on Thursday. And Jim, both these teams need this game like blood, right on the cut line of the bubble right now. Injuries on both sides. Raleigh Worcester for Utah State, Devonair Dutrieve for Boise. How do you make sense of those in this handicap?
Well, I think Dutrieve could be back. It was a dental emergency last game, so I don't know if he just had like a root canal and he should be good to go. I'm not positive. Worcester though was in street clothes and I think a boot. So I would definitely expect him to continue to be out. And he's the more impactful injury, in my opinion. He just, with their 2 freshman guard backcourt between him and Stephen Ashworth, without him, that's one less playmaker, one less shooter. And while Nimi Keita went absolutely bonkers in the first game, I think he had a career high 32, was owning on the block. They didn't have the complementary weapons to keep up with Boise's shot making on the other end. Spot-wise, though, I feel like Utah State bounces back and gets the split just because they are so desperate for a win for NCAA tournament purposes. They were close enough on Wednesday night that they should be able to stay in it. Ky, is that how you see this one?
I do, yeah, and Worcester, I agree, is more impactful than Dutrieve. Not terribly efficient, but obviously a starter for this team, a guy they'd like to have in the lineup. Yeah, Jim, from a pure spot perspective, is driving my best bet, which is Utah State plus 1.5. They need this game. They need this game to make the tournament as an at-large, possibly. They need this game to stay into the running of an auto bid, or a 1 seed rather, for the Mountain West Conference tournament. Boise did take care of business last game, but they had much better 3-point splits. It was very uneven, and the game was still back and forth. I think Utah State sort of gets back in this one. Boise also did an excellent job of getting Keita and Bean in foul trouble. Hopefully that changes this game. Hopefully USU is a little more conscious of that. I like the Aggies bouncing back, plus 1.5. Best bet, Matthew.
Love it. I don't have a strong take here. I like Boise a little bit more in the first leg, but Craig Smith, with time to prepare and adjust to a matchup, just not something I'm looking to bet against. So, Ky, wish you luck. Wish us luck as a best bet conglomerate there. All right, last one here before we get to the mob inquiries. St. Louis at Dayton. And it's been revenge week branded by the SLU media accounts here, as they got their chance to avenge the losses out of COVID to LaSalle and Dayton. They pummeled LaSalle in their last one here, Ky. Now they get their shot to avenge the tough loss at home to Dayton, in which Jalen Crutcher went nuclear. You're a bolder man than I. I see some early money bet this game up to SLU minus 5.5, even 6 in some places. You're going the other way, though, I believe, aren't you?
I think at this point you have to come back in on Dayton. And again, I don't love the matchup. It's kind of similar to Ball State Akron. The Arch Barron Cup, round 2.
The Arch Barron Cup, that's right.
These are always close games. It's sort of a rivalry, or blossom into a rivalry.
It's a big rivalry. These two hate each other.
Yes. Dayton, they caught SLU off shutdown. They did win by 5. SLU was just not themselves that game. 2 rebounds that game. I mean, come on. That's not the Billikens team we know. However, the spread has gotten a little higher. Rodney Chapman, by the way, came back for Dayton unexpectedly against Rhode Island off the bench, played 36 minutes. That's a huge get. Him being out of the lineup really hurt Dayton through the middle of A-10 play. So him being back really helps. I still think scoring is going to be tough for the Flyers in general, Jim, but I have to lean them at 5.5 here.
Yeah, I mean, Crutcher went bonkers in the first game. He loves playing against SLU. He's had great games basically every time. He hit huge shots late. He had 27 in the first meeting, played all 40 minutes. We don't know if Yuri Collins will go for SLU. I would guess he does, because he kind of went through the pregame walkthrough stuff before their last game. This is obviously a little bit of a bigger matchup, tougher game. So I'd expect to see him out there. This is a revenge week for SLU. They got LaSalle, and then now they get to play Dayton. I lean towards SLU from a pure situational perspective, but it is just a high number. These games usually do play close. Their last 3 have been very close. So yeah, I'm staying away on this one, but the number leans your way there, Ky.
Yep, number leans Dayton, but I respect the Bills. I'm not going to go against them. Nothing else to add. Chat mob time. Jim, I believe you are our czar today, or is it Ky who is appointed behind the scenes?
It's me, silly.
It's Mr.
You heard me. You heard me designate Ky.
He usually sees it like, you tackle it. You see the bulls by the horn, Jim. But Ky, thank you for stepping up today.
Well, you're welcome, Matt. And we're going to start with Renzo. And he asks about Cal Baptist and Grand Canyon, a game that we seem to all be on the same side of. Cal Baptist, guys, they shoot the crap out of the ball. Number 2 in the country in 3-point percentage. And Jim, I don't think it's an aberration. I think they're just really, really, really good shooters.
Yep.
Also, Gorjak Gak, I didn't realize that was the same Gorjak Gak that was at Florida.
Oh, yeah.
This guy was a nobody at Florida, and now he's one of the best players in the WAC. He's going to be huge in this game, Jim.
Yeah. He's enormous. I think you're stepping on Matt's best bet here, aren't you?
That is my best bet. It was a late ad. Sorry,
I
should have brought it up.
I didn't
know. We had
Did
the
you talk about
meeting.
it pre-show? I'm sorry.
I was indecisive. No, it's not. It's on me. It's a me issue. But hey, there it is. You don't use. It's cool. I don't need to have the end of show.
I'll dump my coffee
around it
myself.
Oh, was it bad? Leanna, nurse. Okay. Anyway,
Matt, who's your best bet?
Cal Baptist plus 11, plus 10.5. Like, this line's just insanely high. Cal Baptist is awesome. Could it be a bloodbath up front? Maybe. But Cal Baptist can spread out, drive it, shoot it.
9.5, 10 right now. So
that's fine. I'll take it. 9.5, 10. I'm still there.
There is a 10. Yeah, you get 10. You get 10.
I will take 10. This team's awesome. I like this Cal Baptist team a lot. I think this line's way too high. Catching Grand Canyon off shutdown, Jim.
Yeah, 3-week shutdown. I gave this pick on another forum. I just think Cal Baptist is good enough to hang around here. Obviously worried about the glass battle because there's only one Gorjak, and Grand Canyon has a bunch of mountains up front. But I lean with you, Matt. I'm not going to take it where it is now, unfortunately.
All right, moving on to Job. He asks about UCI and Cal State Fullerton. My initial gut lean was Irvine here, guys, but the spread has gotten pretty big, Matt, and these games tend to play rather slow. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, another rinse, wash, repeat. Team off of COVID takes early money against them. And to be honest, the last few days, that's been pretty money. I don't have the official tally, but teams coming off any sort of shutdown the last 2-3 days have been terrible. Fullerton in that boat tonight. Could be down a key starter, Vincent Lee. And we've usually seen, Jim, these teams coming out of COVID also have another 1 or 2 surprise guys out. So you have to bet on that tonight.
Yeah, I handicapped this with Lee in there. I'm hoping he's out, but yeah, I liked it the opener, 8.5, and it's all the way up to 10 in a lot of places now. So the board was really active last night.
Yeah, it was.
We will be mentioning that as we go, but yeah, they're bet up. I don't like it anymore at 10.
Going with Youngstown and IUPUI from Darwin. To be honest, I don't have a take in this game. I'm tired of fading IUPUI, Jim. I won't do it anymore because Burke and Manette are just insane every time, it seems, when I'm against them. So what do you think?
Like, oh, great. They combined for 60 points today. All right, what are we going to do about that? This is another one from -4 opener up to 5.5. People are still on Youngstown here. I like the opener. I don't like it anymore, unfortunately. So I've just got to keep backing away because the market has done its duty.
Yeah, relax, overnight bettors. Like, just wait, please.
A certain pal of ours has a word for them. We will not say it on air. Cleveland State, Purdue Fort Wayne from Khalil. Cleveland State was a gut lean for me in this game, guys. Again, Fort Wayne is a team I'm tired of betting on. Unlike IUPUI, I'm tired of betting on Fort Wayne. They're terrible. Matthew, do you agree with that lean, or are you going the other way?
I wanted Fort Wayne, but the early money hammered it down. Again, another one where the early money took away what I wanted. But Ky, there's an opportunity, I think, for you to buy back on Cleveland State. I think it got bet down to
6 down to 4 here.
To 4. Yeah. So if you're a Cleveland State fan here tonight, I think at 4 you need a little bit lower. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Leaned or Purdue Fort Wayne, but I don't want to take it at 4.
I think it's a bit disrespectful, personally, the spread, but that's for another conversation. Detroit, Robert Morris staying in the horizon from Ryan.
Ooh, we have a battle here. We've showed out.
Number really didn't support my huge gut lean to Detroit. I just think A.J. Brahma being out for Robert Morris is finally going to catch up with them. This is their 3rd straight game without him. Against Oakland, they shot over 50% across 2 games. Not super surprising because Robert Morris can shoot and Oakland plays the worst zone in the country. But you saw 2 games without him against Wright State. Obviously, completely different animal. Wright State has big guys that can actually punish Robert Morris. They did hang around one of those games. They lost by 30 in the second game. I think Detroit, who's been a fireball lately, who's been on fire, very, very hot, takes care of business tonight, but it has gotten a little bit too high for my liking, Jim.
Yeah, I lean Robert Morris here. It's kind of like a close my eyes, plug my nose bet here. I just think it is a little too high. Detroit has been insanely hot from beyond the arc, and I just they can't keep shooting 50% from deep. Like, maybe if they're 40%, Robert Morris can cover, but yeah, if Detroit shoots 50% from deep, I will not cover that bet. Ky, let's not give it as a show bet since we're head to head. We'll both stay away.
Hey, I'm just glad Antoine Davis is back as like a star. That's kind of cool. And now he has some help around him.
He's been great.
It's been a nice, resurrection story.
Okay, maybe 1 or 2 more here. Wright State, Northern Kentucky from Connor. Another game I just really didn't have a pulse on today. Horizon League in general today, Matthew, is I don't have much of a pulse. What do you think? You just did the north side sign. Nice.
The North, yeah. This has kind of turned into a rivalry just given how dominant these teams have been the last couple of years. Northern Kentucky swept Wright State last year. I just think this Wright State team is a machine against man-to-man because of their post-game attack. They can get seals with Loudon Love and Grant Basile inside. I think against the zone, they sort of have to pivot their traditional offense. Kind of throws a wrench in their efficiency, Jim. I like Northern Kentucky at the current number.
Yeah, at current number, I'd lean that way. I've kind of given into Wright State's blowouts of teams in the Horizon. I don't think they covered either game against Milwaukee last week, so perhaps I quit fading them a little too early, but yeah. I think motivated here against a team that they view as like the secondary threat to them, they could go out. They're just better than everybody in this league.
And then one more, and then we'll get back to the rundown here. Riverside, San Diego from Lake Show Magazine. This spread has gotten really high, but I have no interest, Jim, in taking San Diego in this game. I think Riverside is absolutely legit and could really handle them tonight.
Yeah, San Diego just gets destroyed in the paint by the Irvines, the Riversides, the Bakersfields of this conference.
They joined the wrong league, Jim. They should have joined a different league. Like, that league has just size for days, and they have none of it. That's tough.
Yeah, they've been really bad in second leg, so keep an eye on fading UC San Diego tomorrow. I don't think they've covered a single spread in second legs yet this season because they just get beat up inside, they get worn down. Definitely think that would be a spot to keep an eye on Saturday.
Yeah, line's crazy high, but someone knows something. He's up from 6 to 9, so there might be a guy out for San Diego that I don't know about.
69, nice. All right, Matt, tossing it back to you for the rundown. Keep us going.
Well, hey, we're staying right there in the Big West. Cal State Bakersfield at UC Santa Barbara. I'm getting my UC and Cal State school systems confused. Pardon me. These are two of the top 3 teams in the current league standings, along with UC Irvine. And Jim, there's no shortage of talent in this matchup on either side. Both have been sort of transfer safe haven landing spots for a lot of guys looking to resurrect, and they've been really strong, both teams, all year. I think we've been most impressed with Santa Barbara, though. We talked about how, Irvine will always be the overlord of this conference. Santa Barbara will always be, playing second fiddle. But, man, they've been awfully impressive as of late. Do you think they come out and reassert that dominant sign against a very good, albeit Bakersfield team?
I kind of do. Bakersfield's another team that's been awesome in second legs. I think they're maybe like 6-1 against the spread in second legs. But Santa Barbara's been ridiculous in conference play. Since they did not cover either game against Irvine, they've covered, I think, 9 of their last 10 in league play. Yeah. They've just been a complete machine. I would think they kind of take care of business again here. Maybe come in on Bakersfield on Saturday after a UC Santa Barbara blowout, if that's what we see tonight. But nothing for me in the Friday matchup.
Yeah, they've been great, man. Won 8 straight games in the Big West. You have to rebound against Bakersfield. That's like the number one thing you need to do. They're the 3rd best offensive rebound team in the country, and Santa Barbara can do that. 2nd best defensive rebound team in the Big West. They're going to compete on the boards. They're also going to force turnovers against a Bakersfield backcourt that's sort of shaky with the ball.
That's kind of They're very shaky.
Sort of shaky. If you take away the rebounding, if you take away the offensive boards, it's really hard for Bakersfield to score. So I lean towards Santa Barbara. They do have a lot of talent offensively. I know Bakersfield's a fantastic defensive team, and they really defend pick and roll post-ups well. But yeah, I do lean towards Barbara, even though this game could be very, very, very low possessions.
Worth noting that Sean Stith, Bakersfield, basically has a bowling ball guy up front that they can just throw in the low block. He's really effective, although sometimes a liability defensively. He did not play last game. Just something to note. He can be an X factor on occasion, but nothing to write home about here, Ky. All right, next one. This was going to be teaser, my best bet, but some early money took that away from me. Old Dominion at UAB. Yes, Ky, I did like the Monarchs a lot here at the opening number at 7. Listen, UAB is good. This is not a disrespect, me disrespecting what Andy Kennedy's done this season. He's brought in a lot of transfers and has them defending like gangbusters. They swarm you all over the floor. But we've seen UAB play against like-minded competition. That pressure is the effectiveness of that pressure is somewhat negated. We saw that last week against Louisiana Tech. Do you think the Monarchs can run with the Blazers here? I think you actually lean the other way, don't you?
I was leaning towards UAB. We finally saw what we expected from this team, right? Against finally a top 130 KenPom opponent. La Tech took him to business twice. They swept them. ODU's just been kind of on and off all year, so I'm not really sure what I'm getting from the Monarchs. They have some impressive wins. They also have some really weird losses. Certainly their defense is their calling card, and I do think they're going to stop the Blazers' preferred method of scoring, driving to the basket, kind of pounding it into the paint. UAB hasn't shot well at all this season, but guys like Ertel, Benjamin Jackson, they have the ability to shoot. They have the ability to make shots against an ODU team that sort of packs it in. What I'm worried about, Jim, is ODU's three-point percentage defense. It's got to come down. 27.4% allowed in CUSA play. I think that has to come down. I'm sorry, that's their offensive stat.
That's offense, yep.
I confuse my own writing, man. I just take the mic, dude. I ran out of
Jim,
steam.
take it.
Yeah, no, I lean Old Dominion. I'm with Matt here. I think this team can handle the pressure that UAB throws at them at least reasonably well. They played 2 excellent games against Charlotte last weekend. They are getting their legs back under them after their long shutdown. They've got the full roster back, And yeah, Ky, I'll jump in on that 3-point regression point. Yeah, they're hitting 27% from deep.
Offensively.
They're better than 27% from downtown. So I think that can correct at some point. UAB will give you open shots if you break their pressure. So yeah, that would be the lean for me as well, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm all in on ODU here. My only concern is that Malik Curry and the other guards, wings there, did not really handle pressure well early in the season when they saw it against VCU, against FIU. I mean, it's a different, I know those are different matchups, different teams, different styles, but sort of a slight precedent of struggling against pressure. And that is the key to beating UAB. If you can't break the press, you have no shot. So something to watch out for there. All right, final game here. The Dakota battle tonight. We got Sodak State versus Nodak State. The big story here, unfortunate news, Noah Friedel, the leading scorer, surprisingly, for the Jackrabbits. I think we considered Doug Wilson to be the alpha of this team, but Friedel's actually been their leading scorer, taking the rest of the season off to deal with depression. T's and P's for that young man and his family. Hope he gets back and is doing well. But on the court tonight, going to be a tough uphill sledding for the Jack Bunnies. I think they're the more talented team here, Jim. But what are you seeing tonight in this rematch between the Dakotas, who actually played earlier in the year?
Yeah, South Dakota State's been kind of bad lately. I mean, they got taken to the woodshed in both of their first leg meetings, whether it was South Dakota or Oral Roberts' last two games. Kind of bounced back in the second legs of them, but I still wasn't very impressed. They don't guard anybody. North Dakota State is one of the best defensive teams in the league. Them and UMKC are the only two defenses that I really respect in the entire Summit League. And so I think they can frustrate them without a weapon like Friedel. The number's been bet. A lot of money coming in on the Bison. So I'm staying away. I kind of wanted to take South Dakota State at pick them, but I just can't with the way they've played lately, and I think the matchup's not great for them either.
Yeah, I lean North Dakota State, and I'm a Jack Bunnies guy. You guys know me. No Friedel, though, is concerning. North Dakota State tends to play South Dakota State very close over the last couple of years, even when South Dakota State's been a juggernaut in this league. Game one, South Dakota State won by 2. It was not technically a league game. It was at the Pentagon, neutral floor. Douglas Wilson did not play. And the Bison shot 10 for 22 from 3, and South Dakota State still won that game. So that's a point in their favor for sure. I just think North Dakota State's going to really, really up the effort at home tonight. So I definitely lean towards their way. Matthew.
I'm sorry, I was not paying attention to either of you. I was just chuckling at the chat mob debate right now about the NBA.
Whole lot of NBA.
Can we stop
that
this?
discussion?
Get out of here. This is a college basketball show.
SBR has a great NBA show. Watch that one. Check it out on the.
Jim, what time is that? Let's plug that. We should plug that right now.
I don't have the time off the top of my head, but it is jamming with J Money. They've got great stuff going on. So there's plenty of time to chat NBA in there.
I can assure you I have the least.
Why watch a college basketball show and talk NBA? I'm sorry, Matt, go ahead.
I have the least informed NBA opinion on planet Earth. That I can assure you. All right, let's wrap up our best bets here and picks for the day. Ky, start us off.
Yeah, I said mine, Utah State plus 1.5, and it's basically a spot play. Frankly, I think they need this game. I think they know they need this game, and I think they bounce back against Boise. Plus 1.5.
Jimbo?
Yeah, I have not said my best bet yet. We've talked a bunch of Horizon games, but have not covered Oakland at Milwaukee. I'm riding with the Grizzlies here. Matthew, plus 2, I believe, was the most updated number. I will double check that. But Matt, you've talked at length in the past about how that zone has kind of tripped up some teams in the first leg of these back-to-backs. Milwaukee, usually a driving-oriented team.
Yes,
they want to get into the lane via Tajon Lucas drive, so I think that is a little bit thwarted by that funky zone. And I think this should be the other way around. I have Oakland -1. I will take plus 2, and let's go with that for the best bet, baby. Let's go, Grizzlies.
Jim, I'm with you as always. I'm trying to think the last time I didn't bet on Oakland. So I need to actually look back at my ROI the last year and a half. But love Greg Campy, love those two guards with Williams and Moore. So I will add that one to my slate, which is awfully thin, along with Cal Baptist at plus 10. Thank you for securing that number for me, Jim/chatmob. And another one I didn't actually confirm we were talking about earlier, Northern Kentucky at plus 9.5. I want to make that an official play if that still exists, as I think it does per the SPR odds page. Is this
refreshed? 9.5 is out there. Yep.
Done. 9.5. That's my 3-pack of picks. Chat mob inquiries. Ky, run through them.
Let's finish them off. From Ray, we have South Alabama and App State. A game I really have no opinion on. I lean towards App State. South Alabama is even more shorthanded than usual, Matthew. Yep. So has me leaning towards App State.
Another one of COVID shutdown team taking money against App State, I think, was a 3-point favorite, got bet down to -1. They're off a pause. But South Alabama, not a great team to take against a COVID team because they could be with basically 6 players tonight. So depth could be a real concern.
Yeah, 6 is a problem. They've been playing a little bit of a tighter schedule. App State to get some rest down to -1. I kind of lean towards App State in this situation.
Yeah.
Marshall asks about Wyoming, New Mexico, a rematch. Wyoming needed overtime, but they did cover against New Mexico.
My best bet. That was awesome.
Yeah. Jim, do you like anything in the matchup here?
Lean the other way hard in this one. New Mexico had more guys available for that game. A big part of my Wyoming bet was that they were supposed to be short on scholarship guys, and they ended up having 10. Like a couple guys that were rumored to have opted out. Rod Brown, especially, was on the court playing big minutes. New Mexico looked like they had a little more fight than I expected. I would lean their way here.
Yeah, I got this weird vibe from New Mexico that they're actually going to be somewhat feisty. They have athletes and size, and that's the one Achilles heel for Wyoming. We've seen Wyoming be bludgeoned by the more athletic teams in that conference, and that's what New Mexico can exploit as an advantage. So I did take New Mexico small here at 6, I believe. Yeah, 6.
I think it's up to like 6.5. I thought maybe not. I don't know. I could be dealing with up 6.
I'm looking at 6 flat across the board right now.
Yep.
You are right. All right.
I usually am.
Joe asks about Kennesaw Lipscomb in a very all caps manner. He's very excited to watch Kennesaw State Alice tonight. Yeah, I think 13.5 is too high, but it's hard to recommend Kennesaw State. So
yeah,
there you go.
I see a 12.5 now too. So no official recommendation for me.
Hey, Lipscomb loves to blow leads. So if you like Kennesaw State, this is the opponent to back them with.
Moving on to Vermont UMBC rematch from Daryl. Great game yesterday. Fun to watch. 3.5 the spread is right now. Jim, we talked about how weird the betting was in this game yesterday. It got up to 5.
This is as smelly as it gets.
Right.
That game was bet from basically -1 up to -5, and there were no injury concerns with UMBC. The lineup was totally fine. Vermont covered, and then after they won by 9 when they were -5, it's now -3.5. It's something weird there. My alarm bells are going off. I lean towards UMBC getting back in this one, getting a little measure of revenge, but not going to back it at that number. If it was 5 again, I would take UMBC again, but where it's at, I can't take it.
UMBC took some late money. I think there may have been some false information about injuries or something for UMBC here. But Ky, you had the winner there. Props to you. And Vermont looked like the better team. I thought UMBC played in your perfect game offensively for 30 minutes, and they still could not get away from or even stay in front of Vermont. Vermont's just the better team, the more talented team. They're probably undervalued right now just because they got such a late start to the season. They haven't played that much together. So I said I would bet UMBC on the pendulum swing. Whoever lost the first leg, I'd bet second. I'm scrapping that plan. Abandon. Abort.
All right. Moving on to Ray again. North Dakota and Omaha. Gosh, like 2 teams I couldn't care less about this season because I've bet on Omaha quite a bit, to be honest. And
I just launched them into the sun. Just launched them right into the sun.
I finally. Yeah, I tanked the rating so much now that I actually lean towards North Dakota in this game. What do you got, Jim?
I would take North Dakota if you told me right now that Marlon Ruffin is out again for Omaha, but we don't know. So I have to kind of wait, see what's happening with that. Probably a game time decision. They've been really depleted in the backcourt. No Thornhill, no Rowe for Omaha. So would take North Dakota, but I'm nervous. They've just played 2 great games last weekend. It could be a dead spot in the schedule for them.
I can't read my own writing, but somebody asked about KC and Denver. This was did they played earlier this year, guys? Maybe I'm thinking about something else. No,
I don't think so.
Spread's high. It should be a low possession game, but Denver's defense is terrible. So I would not be surprised if KC puts up way more points than they usually do in this game. I don't really want to lay double digits with UMKC, but I also want to bet on Denver again, Matthew. So I'm kind of in a pickle there.
That's it. UMKC is a dog, as feisty as they come. UMKC is a favorite. They're a little more vulnerable, but I don't know. It's Denver. Even though they got Robert Jones back, but it's Denver.
Big time injury questions with UMKC. One of the hardest rosters to track. They got McKissick and Alec back last game or last series, but Arkel Lamar, who's been a revelation since being eligible coming over from UMBC, missed with a wrist injury. He may be out in this one. Still missing Marvin Nesbitt. They're just a hard team to figure out.
All right. Well, I did see one more here. We go Stetson. A couple of guys asked about our opinion on Stetson. Spread feels high, but again, Jacksonville's one of those teams that I tend to lean towards every time, and the Dolphins have not been as good as they should have been during preseason expectations, Jim.
No Kevion Nolan. I can't touch Jacksonville without him. So.
Yep.
I see a Monmouth versus Iona from J. Rowe from. We liked Iona, but the number got bet up pretty quickly, so nothing I don't think there for us. Correct, fellas?
No, I lean hard to Iona, but I don't. I think they could get bombed from 3 in this one, so I'm not going to make any official show play.
Fun game to watch, though. Those games are always great.
No question.
Rivalry. Okay, one more because it's Friday. Why not? Troy, Georgia State. Takes. I lean Georgia State, but I really have nothing strong there.
The Panthers? Yeah, I mean, they've been struggling lately, but they're a lot better than how they've played. I could see this being a blowout, but I need to see evidence of Georgia State playing like the Georgia State that we thought they would be to start the year first before backing.
Yeah, lean towards Georgia State on the number, but a Troy very well-coached team could be a frustrating dog to fade.
Yeah, this is my lowest volume day Friday of the year, so I'm actually pretty pumped about this, Matthew.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of money on Fridays. Usually recouped it back on Saturdays, but it's not been a fun way to start off the weekend. Hopefully, folks, you listened and we are more.
Can I just say I've seen Cal Poly mentioned too many times to ignore the chat on that one. Yeah. People want to fade Cal Poly. I don't blame you. Long Beach has gotten some guys back out of their potential opt-out, but they were missing Isaiah Washington last week. I don't know. I don't have a strong take. I don't hate you if you want to fade Cal Poly, though. I
still think Beach is undervalued, Jim, because they got those guys back who opted out and then opted back in. Colin Slater, the notable. But I do think that this is not a good spot to lay as a favorite. So, Jim, I said it better than you did. So I just had to make sure to double down. Right. Boom.
Let's wrap it up for us. Yep.
I will. Hey, have a great weekend, folks. Best of luck on all your wagers. Again, SPRodds.com should be your home, should be bookmarked on all of your browsers. The line shopping dictionary, line value continues to be king. SPRpicks.com/NCAAB. Go there. Check it out. Lots of great content. We will see you back Monday, same time as usual. Take care.